A new report claims that the sonic screwdriver was radically redesigned for Shiudigawa's 15th Doctor because Russell T Davies thought the original designs looked too much like a gun. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Roll this up over at thatparkplace.com. And this new report comes from Alan Sepinwall at Rolling Stone. But before we get to his reporting, let's take a look at some of the new sonic screwdrivers that Doctor Who has introduced. Here is the 14th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. It looks like what we typically see from a sonic screwdriver. Obviously, it has been personalized and stylized, but looks very similar to what you expect the sonic screwdriver to look like. However, this is what we see from Shiudigawa's here. Let me see if I can I'll fast forward so we get a bit
What is that?
look at it here. There it is. There it is. So that is what Shiudigawa's sonic screwdriver looks like. It looks nothing like sonic screwdrivers typically look like. You can see here there's a collection of them. That one looks absolutely nothing like what a sonic screwdriver looks like. It's almost not a sonic screwdriver. But this is what Rolling Stone's Alan Sepinwall reported as to why the sonic screwdriver was redesigned. He says this: the Doctor's trusty sonic screwdriver has been redesigned to resemble a remote control or flip phone because showrunner Russell T Davies worried that the old Sonic looked too much like a gun, which would encourage kids to pretend to shoot at one another. Yes, that is why the sonic screwdriver has been redesigned, according to Alan Sepinwall at Rolling Stone, who was doing an interview with Russell T Davies to promote the upcoming Doctor Who show that debuts later this month here in May. Utterly ridiculous, utterly stupid, and it's just another piece of evidence that Doctor Who is no longer a show to entertain people, but simply a vehicle to propagandize viewers. In fact, Sepinwall shared that the debut episode is a pro-abortion story. Space Bunnies, which is the title of the premiere episode, offers up the adorable title characters, or excuse me, Space Babies. The debut episode title for the premiere episode offers up the adorable title characters in abundance, but also functions as a clear metaphor for governments that try to control reproductive rights without worrying about what happens to children after they're born. Clearly a pro-abortion storyline. And this is what Davies said about that debut episode. He says, if you're not writing that in 2024, what on earth are you doing? I think our rights are in danger. I'm talking as someone who lived through gay liberation, all the way through the AIDS crisis, all the way through to the freedoms that we have now. I can see them spinning and being endangered. So there's no choice in this. And if the most exciting and entertaining action adventure show on television can also do that, I think that's wonderful. That's all it is now. It's not an entertaining or exciting action adventure show. It is literally a vehicle for propaganda. He previously admitted he was using the show to propagandize sodomy to young children. This is kind of what he said in an interview with Variety. Variety's Elise Schaefer wrote this: there's the criticism that Doctor Who is a show that appeals to children and that a queer actor playing the Doctor will reach more kids than ever with its new home on Disney+, which is a disturbing idea to homophobes. Davies sees the show's wider reach as an opportunity to open people's minds. And she then quoted Davies saying, I think if you're 6 years old, you don't care, not at all. But nonetheless, as the world darkens, and I do think the world is darkening around queer rights, there is a joy and a celebration, and there's a community. He added, whether you're 12 years old and just beginning to work out who you are, 62 years old and you've never been who you are, or 61 years old like I am and beginning to worry about where we are in society, there's a hero out there cutting his way through the universe, looking good in his suits and doing it with a laugh and a smile. This is absolutely repugnant, absolutely disgusting, completely evil stuff right here. And that's what the show is. The show is a vehicle for propaganda, and the propaganda it is pushing is evil, objectively evil stuff here. Earlier in that interview with Variety, Davies also noted he was specifically trying to target younger audiences with the show. He says, the one thing I keep seeing now is the fragility of the mental health of young people. It's like there's a nervousness about in the air now. So that's the hero I wanted for them. If that younger audience is feeling so much, I wanted the Doctor to feel it on screen as well. We also have comments from actress Millie Gibson. She previously told The Independent that the show, quote, will attract a lot of Gen Z viewers since the season will quote, go with the times and represent a lot of faces and themes that are really important to see on television. They're absolutely not. Evil is not something that is important to see on television. It's the opposite. But nevertheless, she said this. There's so many controversial elements to this season, the good sort of controversy, and it's what we need to see on our tellies. She then admitted that many longtime Doctor Who viewers will be put off by the show. She says, some people might think this isn't the Doctor Who I know, but I'm really excited to see it. It's really cool that they're doing concepts like these and changing it up. We already know that they're pushing transgender ideology. They did that in the very first anniversary special with David Tennant returning as the 14th Doctor. This stuff is absolutely evil. That's all the show is now. We also have this from Shiudigawa as the 15th Doctor. The Daily Mail says that he said this. As I say, I live in a very leftist liberal bubble, and in fact, there's a really great episode coming up next year where we lean into that. It sounds like the entire show is leaning into that because that's all the show is. It's all you've been talking about. That's all they've been saying about this show and what the show is about. It's about promoting evil ideology. He then confirmed to Entertainment Weekly that the show will push disordered sexual behavior. While discussing the costumes for the show that designer Pam Down had shown him, Gawa said this. She laid out her sketches on the table, and I saw kilts and skirts and all kinds of gender-pushing, societal-pushing outfits, and I was like, yes, let's do all of them. So, and that's just, this is like the tip of the iceberg. This isn't even all of the stuff that Gawa has talked about, where he's basically telling people to turn off the TV if you don't like what you see. Just don't watch, which I agree. That's great advice, and we should follow that advice. We should not watch this stuff. We should not let evil enter our minds through this show. But those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you make of this. Let me know what you make of the reasoning behind why the sonic screwdriver was radically redesigned for Shiudigawa's 15th Doctor. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.